Greetings everyone, my name is Toth and this is my presentation about the environmental challenges and possible solutions in Italy. I will discuss climate change, air quality and sustainability related topics. In this presentation I will explore how different Italian regions illustrate major environmental issues and responses. We will look at climate change impacts and adaptation in the island of Sicily, air quality challenges in Lombardy region, and waste management concerns in the south of Italy. I will also discuss how climate myth and ozone layer protection demonstrate the importance of science and cooperation in addressing global challenges. Here's a quick overview of the main topics. I will start with the effects of climate change in Sicily, focusing on the rising temperatures and drought. Next, we will examine the air pollution in Lombardy, especially in the Milan area, and its impacts on public health. Then we will move to the southern Italy to discuss waste management and its connection to sustainability. Finally, I will try to clarify two common climate change myths and explain how protecting the ozone layer is a success story of international collaboration. Throughout the presentation, my goal is to connect the local realities with global solutions. Sicily lies in the Mediterranean, which is considered a climate hotspot. It is an area warming faster than the global average. Over the past 50 years, average temperatures have increased by about 1.5 to 2 degrees Celsius, and by the World Meteorological Organization confirmed that in 2021, Sicily recorded Europe's highest ever temperature with 48.8 degrees Celsius. The rising temperatures are prolonging droughts and causing water shortages, mainly affecting agriculture and ecosystems. Also wildfires, coastal erosion and biodiversity loss are becoming more frequent. Sicily's experience reflects a broader Mediterranean pattern of heat stress and environmental vulnerability. Agriculture is among the sectors most affected by environmental changes. Crops such as citrus, olives and grapes are sensitive to both the heat and water availability. Farmers have introduced drip irrigation systems and reclaimed water reuse, which together reduce water consumption by about 30%. However, the irrigation infrastructure remains inadequate to meet the agricultural needs, especially in the central and southern part of the island. Also, since the 1980s, the rainfall across Sicily has declined by about 10 to 15%, making water conservation vital for the long-term sustainability. Nature-based solutions like reforestation, terracing and soil restoration help retain water and prevent erosions. These initiatives are also supported by the European Union LIFE programme and Italy's National Energy and Climate Plan, which promote renewable energy and efficient water use. While the adaptation is necessary, some mitigation is equally important. Under the European Green Deal, the European Union aims to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 55% by 2030 and reach climate neutrality by 2050. Italy's national energy and climate plan supports this through large-scale solar and wind development, particularly in the southern regions of the country. These renewable projects create local employment and reduce dependency on fossil fuels. Urban actions include building retrofits, energy-efficient lighting, and improved public transport systems. The country is also exploring carbon capture technologies. an expanding reforestation project to remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. At the individual level, everyday choices such as using public transportation and improving home insulation can help contribute to these national goals. Now moving north to the Lombardy region, and especially the Milan metropolitan area, faces a different challenge. It is the severe air pollution. The two most critical pollutants are the PM2.5 and nitrogen dioxide. PM2.5 stands for the particulate matter smaller than 2.5 micrometers. These are fine airborne dust particles about 30 times thinner than human hair, and these can penetrate deep into the lungs and the bloodstream. Nitrogen dioxide, on the other hand, is a reddish-brown gas produced mainly by vehicle exhaust and the heating systems. It irritates the lungs and contributes to smog and acid rain. The Po River Valley basin geography and the cloudy, humid winters in the area trap these pollutants near the ground, worsening those problems. As a result, Milan's average PM2.5 levels are roughly double than the World Health Organization's guideline of 10 microgram per cubic meter. Lombardy remains one of Europe's most polluted regions. The prolonged exposure to PM2.5 and nitrogen dioxide weakens the respiratory and cardiovascular systems. It also contributes to asthma, chronic bronchitis, heart diseases, and stroke. The European Environment Agency estimates that around 60,000 premature deaths occur in Italy each year due to air pollution. During the COVID-19 pandemic, studies revealed that regions with higher PM2.5 levels had greater infection and mortality rates. This shows that chronic exposure makes people less resilient to respiratory diseases. The connection between pollution and health is now scientifically proven, and Milan is addressing this through low emission zones, electrified transport, and cleaner heating solutions. But the continued progress is essential to protect public health. Waste management highlights Italy's regional disparities. The northern regions recycle over 65% of the municipal waste, while the south averages below 40%. In many southern provinces, a lack of composting and sorting facilities leads to waste being exported or illegally disposed of. In Campania, for example, the area known as the Land of Fires has become infamous for illegal dumping and open burning of waste. These fires often linked to organized crime and produce toxic smoke that contaminates soil, water, and air. They pose serious health risks, especially to low-income communities. Weak enforcement and political delays have prevented consistent progress towards modern waste systems. Solutions depend on adopting a circular economy where resources are reused instead of discarded. Expanding separate collection and composting can reduce landfill waste by more than 30%. Building local recycling plants lower transportation emissions and supports regional economies. Community reuse and repair centers extend product life spans and encourage civic participation. Municipal green procurement policies, purchasing durable and recyclable materials, further reduce waste. The EU Circular Economy Action Plan and regional cohesion funds support these initiatives. The result is cleaner communities, reduced greenhouse gas emission, and more sustainable local employment opportunities. Common misunderstandings about climate change continue to confuse the public. One myth claims that today's warming is a part of a natural climate cycle. However, scientific evidence shows that the rapid rise in global temperatures since the 1950s is mainly due to greenhouse gases, particularly carbon dioxide from burning fossil fuels. Another myth argues that carbon dioxide makes up too small a portion of the atmosphere to have any real effect. In fact, trace gases trap heat very effectively. Carbon dioxide concentrations have increased by about 40% since the Industrial Revolution, accounting for most of today's temperature rise. Misinformation weakens public trust and slows actions. That is why clear, evidence-based science communication is essential for policy and global cooperation. The ozone layer is a thin band of gas in the stratosphere that absorbs harmful UVB radiation, the ultraviolet rays that cause sunburn, skin cancer, and cataracts. In the 1980s, scientists discovered that this protective layer had developed a large hole over the Antarctica, with ozone losses exceeding 60% during the spring months. The primary cause was the CFC, or chlorofluorocarbons, human-made gases used in refrigeration and aerosol sprays. When these gases reached the upper atmosphere, sunlight broke them down, releasing chlorine atoms that destroyed ozone molecules. The result was serious: higher skin cancer rates, reduced crop yields, and harm to the plankton at the base of marine food chains. The world responded to these threats through the Montreal Protocol in 1987, which phased out the ozone depleting substances, or ODSs. Thanks to this treaty, the ozone layer is recovering and should return to pre-1980 levels by the middle of the century. Later, the Kigali Amendment in 2016 extended the agreement to target HFCs, or the hydrofluorocarbons, refrigerant gases that do not deplete the ozone layer but are potent greenhouse gases that trap heat. Together, these global efforts could prevent up to half a degree Celsius of additional warming by 2100. The Montreal Protocol shows that science-based policy and international cooperation can achieve real environmental progress. It is often described as the most successful environmental treaty in history. So to sum up, Italy's environmental challenges vary by region but share a typical lesson, which is local action matters. In Sicily, improved irrigation and renewable energy can make agriculture more resilient. In Lombardy, cleaner transport and heating, among other things, will protect public health. In the south, circular economy investments and community engagement can modernize waste management. Education and communication remain essential to combat misinformation and strengthen environmental awareness. The success of the ozone recovery demonstrates that collective, science-based action can reverse even large-scale environmental decline. Every small local step contributes to global sustainability. And that concludes my presentation. These are the credible academic and institutional sources support the information in this presentation. These sources provide the factual foundation for the discussion, and reinforce the importance of evidence-based environmental decision making. And while presenting the reference list, I would like to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Thank you for your time, and I'm looking for your feedback.